Hello, my name is Robbie Irgang, and I attend Georgetown College and am enrolled in the master's program for teacher leadership with an endorsement in moderate to severe disabilities. And I have the opportunity to do an action research study that would answer the question, what do high school general education teachers know about collaborative teaching with special education students, and how does their knowledge impact their collaborative practices? So, to tell you a little bit about myself, I work at an alternative school in Jessamine County, which is just right outside of Lexington. We service a very high need population with very low socioeconomic status. And Being an alternative school, we do have a high behavior um, population a population that has high behavior needs. And so this question really came because we service the students in those areas, in the behavior and the um, the social awareness piece so often, but we seem to miss at times the education, or I wanted to see if we would miss those education pieces. And so that's what inspired this question. So before I got started, I did want to conduct some research. I wanted to learn about what was already out there. I wanted to know what could I gather based off of previous knowledge. And so within that, through reading, I found three themes that popped up in multiple sources. And that was the need for increased communication between general educators and special educators. There was a need for additional training for teachers. And then there was also a need for structured or specified time. And so that gave me a good baseline to figure out and to decide that this action research was going to be beneficial. Through this, I did conduct three different types of data collection methods. I used surveys, interviews, and observations, which allowed me to understand both the mind, the heart, and then the action of the teachers. Each one of those methods gave me a more clear picture into the teacher. Throughout that, I was triangulating my data and I was coding data using color-coded system to identify what teachers were saying, what they were doing, and to really combine and gather good quality data. I used six teachers within my school building. One fascinating fact I thought was that five of those teachers had a secondary master's degree in learning and behavior disorders. So that was a very interesting fact that they all had a general knowledge of learning behavior disorders, and that the median teaching age was 4 years, or teaching time was 4 years. So they weren't fresh out of college teachers, but not overtly experienced either. Here's a quick understanding of some information on those participants. And then when I was collecting my data, I found that the interviews, the observations, and the surveys each gave me different themes that were popping out amongst each data collection method. And so you can see those here, and they do give me a kind of wider range. And what you'll see pop up amongst all three of those is that there was an overall theme that collaboration was not present. And when we were looking at that, I started thinking about, some possible thoughts, some possible pieces that could have contributed to that. And when you look at the final conclusions, I do think that there are two really important conclusions that can be drawn. I think that if if there's not collaborative teaching that's happening, it's not functioning in the classroom, then there needs to be better collaboration. So that's one main conclusion. And then I also looked at both the interviews and the surveys, and I understood that the heart and the mind behind the teachers was there, that they truly did care about and understand the importance of collaboration. But in actual action, it didn't come out that way. And so I do believe that um, that the teachers that I observed did not know how to effectively use that collaboration, although they knew in their headspace what was important for the students. Going forward, I do think that there is some hope. I think that we can uh, do a very similar study in the future. I think that this is a stepping stone, a piece in the right direction. I think that if we start with trainings, I think if we start with being intentional with our time and our resources, we will see an improved growth. I think as we progress further and further, and we carve out those times and we specify the importance of those trainings, that we could see a big difference. And I would love to see what difference that makes for our research going forward. I think going forward, also, one thing that could be looked at is that the communication could be um, increased by administration. It could be encouraged by the administration, and ultimately, it could be assigned that those teachers work more collaboratively together to yield a better result in order to have a more functioning and a better school. And it would benefit the students educationally, as well as what we already are doing socially and behaviorally, taking such large strides with our students. Here's a list of references, and I just wanted to say thank you for listening, and I hope that you get a better understanding of how important this action research was for my school.